interesting mechanics that they can use, such as the Repel to stay out of the way, such as the Fate's Call and the Shroud that Fake is going to have access to, but Chaos Style hasn't been how SKT's won games so far this season. And there's a big smile on UCal's face. There is a lot of seriousness on Fakers.
Yep. SK Telecom are going to have their work cut out for them. There's going to be a lot of pressure put on Clid this game, on the Elise, to get the lanes ahead and rolling.
And if cohesively, we are yet to find out. We'll see whether we find out now as we hit the rift. T1 fans extraordinarily loud, and understandably so, as they're hoping that they can get themselves a follow-up victory. 2-2-1s in the first week is still 2 match wins, as SKT hanging out as a 4-man unit in this brush. Clid well and truly hiding inside the model of Marta right now, but Afreeca aren't going to poke their heads in. Bit of a fun matchup here in the mid lane, the Yasuo versus Akali. Feels like they have similar vibes, you know, even though Yasuo is, in theory, a ninja. After the Akali rework, she kind of looks a little bit like Yasuo.
At this point, not going to be anything super chaotic happening in the early stages of the game, at least, as both teams are playing rather defensively.
Feels like both of these teams have selected some mid-game power rather than hyper late game power as well, with Davaris being much more of a I want 2 items and running to kill you type AD carry, and Ballista being very similar to that.
Electrocute on Aatrox as well. Predator on the Gragas. And I mean, every single rune here is just standard. Geared, at early game dominance and whatnot. And so, again, if SK Telecom, if they find themselves just going even, they're going to have a very bad time in the mid game. They need to get advantages, they need to get leads, and unfortunately for them, they've been rolling bad dragons all night. They roll yet another bad one.
Yeah.
It's not a mountain or an infernal, which they would, in theory, like to use their early game aggression to be able to convert into. Oh,
okay.
Khan.
Yeah,
a little bit of an uncharacteristic miss.
Okay. Senin and Aiming having a good time. There's some interesting interactions here where Marta taunts Senin and stuns himself because of the passive. It's a fun one. As Khan misses yet another one. He was trying to hit a minion with that, guys. That wasn't aimed at Keen. But did Keen start off on the Gromp camp as well, is another question, because he was walking the lane with 1 CS very late. And I think that might have been what he did, but I did miss it. I'm sorry, guys. Wasn't paying attention towards the top side at that point. As Faker going hyper-aggressive. Has the Ignite, remember, so this is very scary. UCal going to miss the knock-up.
And now Clid going for an aggressive path. He's going to look for Dread. Doesn't quite find... Oh, we might find him right here.
Yeah,
oh,
the bop is going to come in. Oh, Cocoon goes wide. That ain't a great one as Keen. The flash, is he going to follow? The answer is no. They get a free flash out of Clid, and he also loses most of his health bar.
And the reason that I think that they're not flashing there is because the wave is crashed underneath the turret. And so even if you go over the wall and you kill the Elise, you lose out so much value if Khan's able to zone one of the remaining members, and it's not worth utilizing both of the flashes in order to go over the wall. So,
not to mention the fact that Rift Scuttler was up as well, and Dread had the health advantage, so can take that one for free. So they can take extra advantages. Faker also, with the advantage in mid lane, meant that he had the free roam first, because UCal was back in base. As you can see, an 8 CS lead, that's 1 wave that Faker has over.
Clid coming back around.
Yeah, Clid, if at first you don't succeed.
Yeah, he wants to really make this happen here. For Khan's chase, they're trying to dive the Aatrox, but it's really hard to get the crash on this cannon wave.
Yeah, Khan has full health, but he has no corrupting potion stacks.
Right,
remaining.
He's out of fuel.
Yeah, he is. Does have a bit of mana, but the Aatrox is going to be able to farm a lot.
Usually,
yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen that competitively.
No, neither have I.
It looks like Yoshimitsu from Tekken.
It does a little bit.
You know?
Although Yoshimitsu has been in so many different forms
he
in so many different games that I'm not even entirely sure which one you're talking about. Because there's like the Soul Calibur one, there's the Tekken one, there's
Soul Calibur
everywhere. Yeah.
The newest one came out, right? I didn't actually play.
No, I didn't play it either. There's Keen and Khan are fighting each other.
This is really bad for Khan.
Yep.
Now, he doesn't get hit by the Infernal Chains right there, but the lane state is miserable for him.
Yeah, and you saw that was why Keen moved up to that middle brush, so that it could put the wave in
Look
exactly
where
this
Gragas is.
position.
So if it goes teleport for teleport, Gragas is just going to path up.
Yep.
Here we go.
He does it.
Let's see. Yeah, hug the wall. Furthest most to the right. Least
and
response
the Predator.
from vision. Yeah,
Predator's going to pop. Knockups are going to come in. Gets the flash forward. Infernal Chains have to be flashed as there's the flash body slam. All too easy from the Afreeca Freecs. That's what they had to do. It looked
top lane.
really nice, but
over.
honestly, that was pretty easy from these guys.
So now, Keen, because it's only a couple of spellcaster minions, they don't actually tank long enough. He actually does have to slowly start building up the wave and shoving it out. Gragas is going to look. This is such a cookie-cutter play at the professional level. Due to the minion lane state threatening the freeze, Khan has to teleport forward aggressively onto the minion wave to try to get the crash. He can't do it. Junglers in close proximity. Super, super easy game.
Yeah, and there were two things that he had to flash, right? And as soon as there's two things that you have to flash, you're screwed. That's just basically how that works. So the Infernal Chains land, and from that point, the flash body slam is perfect. I mean, Khan did absolutely everything that he could to try and get out of that, but honestly, he just didn't have enough tools.
Now, Predator's actually going to be up again relatively soon, and so far, for Afreeca, everything's actually going well for them in all of the lanes. One might argue that mid lane, a little bit of a CS deficit.
Yeah, and, you know, Yukal had to go back relatively early, but, you know, Yasuo isn't the greatest laner in the very early stages. See how Yukal is going to work paired in tandem with Dread once the last breath comes online. Does have it now, but we're yet to find the explosive cask from Dread.
I think the team that we last saw utilize the Yasuo Gragas very well was Kingzone.
Yes, they were brilliant. That was when Cuz was topping damage as Gragas in those particular games. Very, very good. KT also tried their hand at it. As Armada gets the flash forward. There's a Justice Punch. Senin is most definitely dead, but they're going to try and turn this. Aiming. Few auto attacks are going to come in. The Predator comes down. Ultimate's in. 1-for-1 trade as Teddy is going to get slowed down. Clid looking for more. Lancer Cocoon.
What?
Can Teddy find the Ren damage? He does so as Aiming wants Clid. Finds it all too easily, and now it's a 1v1. Aiming a lot of auto attack damage, but Teddy able to get out of the way. Holds onto his summoner spells.
And so right here, one of the interesting things is, yes, SK Telecom wants gold. They don't want to trade gold. So even though in the end right there it ended up being a trade, it's not really that good for them. And Freecs is going to be the one that benefit out from this. Now Khan, he's going to be forced to recall.
Yeah, he's going to fall further behind.
Yeah.
That's really scary stuff. Yukal looking for more. Just wants to clear out the
Faker
minion
wants
wave.
a solo kill.
He's ignited, but Senin's going to turn up. Dredgeline not going to find the mark, but he is slowed down. Ultimate's going to fly forward, and Faker picks up the kill. Finally! Faker with the big play in the early game. SKT power in the mid lane now.
And that's a really much-needed kill for SKT. We take a look at how this all ends up unfolding. Mata able to get the taunt off onto Senin. He goes down, but Dread is there, uses the ultimate. Very easy to pick up. He comes in here for the Chilling Smite and the Q onto Teddy. Now, it would be fine for him not to do this in trade, but it ends up being him for Clid in the end.
And the thing that's crazy is Varus works extraordinarily well when there are kills on the map. We're going to see this one once again. I'll talk about it afterwards. Yukal just tries to clear minions, and unfortunately, Faker goes all in, and Yukal didn't get the memo.
Yeah. Yukal.
But we've got another fight. Senin's trying to protect Aiming, but he's not going to be able to. Senin has to flash. Dredgeline comes forward. Mata with the ultimate just to guarantee that first kill. That will be that.
And so right now, Clid getting a lot going for the bottom lane of SK Telecom. It is coming at a cost, though. This Jace is getting put very far behind. Khan sniffs that something is definitely ajar.
Yeah, and Dread throws out the ultimate, a zoning ultimate, as the Infernal Chains will do it. In fact, Dread picks up the kill. More turret plates now available here as the Clown Drake is going to be taken by SKT. Mountain will be the next one, but they kind of wish that that was the one they just took.
The Aatrox is getting very, very strong and scary. He's going to start getting plates. This Jace is crippled. This Jace is extremely far behind. And let's take a look at the replay here. I mean, this is a very, very cookie-cutter gank setup and everything. Using the Callista ultimate. They chain everything together. They bring down aiming, but again, it's coming at a cost, which is Khan is falling further and further behind, which means this Jace is going to be all but irrelevant. And the other thing is, SK Telecom's team composition, they have to go in. They're all very, very short range, essentially melee characters.
And they're super squishy, right?
And they're very, very squishy, so it plays into Aatrox.
Yeah. Oh dear. I don't think you can. You can't even hide from the Aatrox in a Twilight Shroud. Like Faker might find himself accidentally murdered.
Yeah.
In some of these team fights. As Yukal's desperately trying to hold on. Does actually find himself back in the CS race, but Faker just seems to be winning on all fronts in this 1v1. Seeker's Arm Guard is done. He's also got his sustain available with the Bilgewater Cutlass. Feeling really good, even though he doesn't have his Hextech Gunblade yet. I feel like Yukal, things are just going to get worse and worse for this this particular matchup as it stands at the moment. But it's not represented in the gold. 400 is the lead now for SKT. And a lot of that has to do with Teddy farming out very well. He's 2-0-1 now. Does have a bounty on his head. Farm is in advantage of Faker in the mid lane as well, but there are 2 turret plates that have gone down in favor of the Aatrox versus Jace lane for the Afreeca Freecs, and that is a crazy thing to talk about.
Well, Hexdrinker completed for Yukal in the mid lane. It will provide him with quite a lot of durability against the Akali and the Elise. They want to kill Faker.
Yeah, Yukal wants to use his ultimate button as well. Hasn't had much of an opportunity at this stage, but Afreeca Freecs are just going to transition this towards Shelly. He should be taken out relatively easily here. Yukal going to just give his jungler a hand. Dread is in a great position this game. Has himself the Sork Boots as well as the Runic Echoes and does a lot of damage. Cleared, opted in for the Mercury Tread, so not going to be doing as much as Shelly is going to fall, and that's just going to be more damage over, more gold over to Keen.
And if they can actually utilize the Herald immediately and convert it into turret plates, that would be the best case scenario for them. But you can see...
Yeah, another Ignite onto Yukal, gets flashed on Dredgeline, is not quite far enough. Oh my god! Able to do a Yukal with a Triumph proc as well. He survives! He walks away and Marta's gonna die as well. Double kill for Dread. Thank you very much. Aiming finds Teddy, but the Blast Cone is there. Ultimate theoretically wasted, but that was gigantic.
Unless, can Khan and Clid manage? Yeah, it looks like actually.
That's still a hell of a lot of plates, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of plates going down and a lot of damage. I mean, that was one hell of a last breath. Yasuo finally...
I was ready to call it over, honestly. I was ready to say that Yukal had once again overextended.
Yeah.
But man, the fact that you get all of your flow back as soon as you press that button is insanely pivotal in that exact moment.
Landed the initial knockup, doesn't take it, gets ignited by Faker. Mata comes in with the flash taunt, and then right here with the sliver of HP back, they chain everything together. Triumph comes in, he ends up living. Nice champion.
Best friend Dread right there. Dread's like, I'm coming to save you. I hope we get a translation for that. Maybe I'm too lucky today, says Yukal. I think he's forgotten about game 2 already.
Delete that from your memory.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a good way to stay untilted.
Yeah,
LS?
I went on, I need some eye bleach.
Yep.
Just that one.
Shake it off.
Well, you know, that was the name of a song.
It was.
That was actually very, that was a catchy song.
I liked it.
Yeah.
You know, not exactly my favorite style of music, but I respected it for what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked the message. It's a good message.
You like the message game number 2 sent?
What game?
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I like the message that Yukal sent. As Dread and Mata are going to spot each other here. Control Ward is going to get taken down as SKT had control of this portion of the river. 10 seconds until that Mountain Drake is available, and you can see already Keen is wandering his way down. He's got a bit of a variety bucket of items at this point. Caulfield's Warhammer and a pickaxe for his last 2 pickups. That means he does have 20% CDR, and he's feeling pretty confident. On the Aatrox, Jace is towards the top side. Keen clearing out the minion wave in the mid. And Afreeca will just wander over to this Mountain Drake, and I don't think SKT are going to be able to do too much. Oh, the teleport's going to come in, though.
They want to, apparently.
Yeah, can they actually take down this Drake beforehand, as that's a good knock-up on Tamata. Fate's Call did absolutely nothing, as Faker now trying to get into this fight.
Oh, they
Kane
whip.
also trying to get the work done, as that's another huge last breath. Aiming, picks up that kill. Mata gets some knockups, but now he's found himself in the wrong position. And now Keen with the World Ender won't be going down this time. Double kill for Aiming. And Afreeca have found the fight and a 3,500 gold lead.
And, you know, let me just say that if it wasn't for game number 2, I would call this one over, just due to the dynamics of the team composition. And also, how much simpler this one is to actually pilot for Afreeca. You basically press your abilities. Did you get a knock-up? Yes, okay, Yasuo, or press R.
Yep.
And then from there, it becomes really easy for Varus and Aatrox to conduct themselves in the team fight and just keep plowing through SKT, who don't deal that well being on the defensive. Their team composition wants to just sort of plow through the opposition. And if we take a look at how this all ends up transpiring, and like you were saying, I thought that they were just going to give it up. They seem to really misunderstand their current status in the game. As they were handshaking this, Clid gets completely eviscerated.
Yeah.
And just brought down. They get the World Ender passive to proc. Aatrox is no longer going to go down, and Faker just has to watch the rest of his teammates go down.
Yeah. Dread, very happy with how this game went at that particular moment. 0-3-0 is Khan. An unfortunate game so far. Also, Mata not quite finding his inroads here in this composition. And we mentioned it before. I mean, you're talking about being prepared to call this game over. I think that you almost lean towards that even further, just purely looking at this team comp. SKT have a composition that wants to play from ahead, not one like this, as Dread was threatening with the flash. Actually, no, didn't have it available, so he was just body slamming aggressively and managed to get the flash out of Teddy for it.
Oh, man. Well, here we have a 4.2 thousand gold lead here. I really hope that's not a Morellonomicon Gragas is building. Wouldn't want him to get any funny ideas.
I think it is.
I think it is.
Yeah. What's wrong with a Morellonomicon?
You know what? Let's not talk about it. All right?
I quite like Morello. He's a good guy.
He was a good guy.
Yeah.
The item, not so much. Not so much. Not in all the situations. You might think, well, I really got to cut down the healing on the Akali and Varus. No, you don't. Just kill them.
There's also innate healing for the Elise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's good on him.
Oh, nice. He just bought it. Great.
Yeah, he's got it. Free up some item slots. You know, he's got a spare one. In his back pocket. It's good to have. What if you find something when you're trekking through the jungle? Now he's got somewhere to put it.
Going insane.
You're going insane. Okay, Yuka once again going to find Faker here. He has his static shift completed, as well as that Hex Tech. Sorry, the Hex Drinker, Hex Tech Drinker.
I like the choose your own adventure Aatrox.
Yeah, he does really have quite a few of them. They seem to be pretty effective, though, as World Ender is going to come in looking for the knock-up, gets so much damage. One more auto is going to do it, as he doesn't have the flash. As Khan is able to get out, but Dread, he smells blood. The Predator is well and truly here. That was a weird interaction. He's underneath the turret. Has to go golden. See your death, Mr. Dread. The ultimate! He finishes it off! 1-for-1 happens, but that's a 700 gold shutdown. I'll take that if I'm an SKT fan.
I love League of Legends Atlas.
Oh my god!
Jace's dead carcass says it all. That's basically encapsulating the game.
What a day to be alive.
I love this.
Yep.
This is going down in the record books.
This is my favorite variety of LCK that we've had so far.
Well, I hope that you remember this day many years from now.
Do you remember Tracker's knife? I don't.
I do.
What is that?
That was the green one, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a...
That was the one that made the game boring because we were able to stabilize the game so much. But now we have craziness everywhere.
What was the... Was there a gray one, too?
Gray one?
What was, there was something that was gray, right?
Oh, the Poacher's one?
The Poacher.
Yeah.
No. Not Poacher's gray. Am I thinking of something?
Wasn't there like one that like if you counter jungle it does?
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think isn't that still in the game where if you get enough of them it turns into a straight
there was
berserk?
a color.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, whatever.
I mean, there've been a lot of items in League of Legends, okay?
Okay. You remember Deathfire?
Yeah.
That was...
Love that item.
That was a good item.
I remember AP Malphite. 100-0. Deathfire Grasp. Oh my god, it was so good. Also, Deathfire Grasp Mordekaiser was like the best.
See, you're a man of culture.
I have culture. How are you feeling about the old Mordekaiser rework?
I'm really excited to play him. I'm really sad. He was my first champion ever.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah, my personal favorite.
That's why we...
Keen's dead, guys.
Keen's dead.
Faker found it. Marta was over here as well as aiming. He's going to find the ultimate. Stands in front of the Justice Punch to make sure he doesn't leave the fight.
Right.
And that is going to confirm the kill. Senin, in fact, picks it up, I believe, with an Aftershock proc, which is certainly a high-value way to take down a kill. Not wanted to take it away from his AD carry, most likely. Aiming has gone into the Rage Blade as well, which I actually really like in this game in particular because they have a lot of physical damage. So using the fact that Varus does a lot of mixed damage is a good way to make this one work. So Wit's End coming in next will mean that a lot of mixed damage will be coming out of aiming and can account for the fact that they are very AD heavy.
Gragas is also going AP, so
this
is actually really nice. Very good combo. Mountain Drake going to be spawning next as well in 4 minutes. And, I mean, this is looking very reminiscent of game number 2 in a way where so many things are going Afreeca's way. They're in the driver's seat. They're in control. I don't want to call it, you know?
Yeah, I know. I know exactly how you feel, but I feel like Afreeca's composition this time has more clear ways to win the game.
Yeah, it's so much
easier.
easier.
As it goes on, right? It's so much easier. And I think that that's what they were talking about when they went into the coach's booth after the game. They're like, well, we didn't quite know what we were supposed to do to win after a certain point in the game, and that's what it felt like. And this time around, they've just given themselves those clear outs. So even though Keen falls down here, it's a 1-for-1 trade, and not too bad.
Like on a level 1 through 10 of difficulty of Afreeca's team composition, I'm going to have to rate it an Annie.
An Annie?
An Annie.
Damn.
It's that simple.
That's a low level of difficulty. But if you've got finesse, it looks real good.
See?
You flash Tibbers, it looks cool, man.
It does.
Yeah.
It really
you
does.
look like you're really good at the game, but actually all you've done is press as many buttons at the same time as you can.
I like that.
Damn. Aatrox yells a lot when he jumps around.
He does.
I hadn't really quite paid too much attention to it. I was listening mostly to your dulcet tones so far this game, but he's unable to quite clear that ward.
I mean, there's actually not...
Flash Cocoon is going to land. I believe Dread does. No, he doesn't. Stopwatch was already used, so no way of getting out of that. Marta flashes to taunt absolutely no one, as Heroic Entrance is also not going to find the mark. A lot of buttons now on cooldown. Not a lot to show for it here, apart from that one kill onto Dread.
This is actually
I can hear the Korean cast as well. I think they're just as dumbfounded as we are.
I actually think they are.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that they're saying is, what are they doing?
That is another one as Senin is able to flash his way out, but not far enough as Faker picks up that kill. SKT fans going nuts, and Afreeca
going insane.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
nuts
what.
Everywhere. Be careful. I know you've got
Get
allergies.
me out.
You've got allergies. That's why you wanted to leave. If everyone's going nuts, then you can't be here. Nut allergies are really serious things as Keen helps, Khan helps Keen pick up his scrum. Cool.
All right.
Yukao finds Faker.
It doesn't end. You know what? SKT, they're going to win the game.
Maybe.
SKT somehow, some way.
For all intents and purposes, they shouldn't.
Right.
As Yukao pushing really far up. Right in the face of Faker, but Faker without ultimate is unable to actually fight him. As we're going to have a look at this one yet again. He's looking to try.
Hold on. I'm getting word in my left ear.
Oh, what's that? What's that?
He needed the 100 gold from the Raptor camp.
Got it. What was Marta doing? He thought that his Flash was old Flash. All right,
here we go.
Years ago. Speaking of Marta, he's going to get pulled back. That's the last breath used on the Galio. A lot of big buttons now, but Khan gets chunked for so much of his health bar. Powered Shock Blast is going to soften the members of the Afreeca Freecs. This time they don't have the Sona to bring them back up to health, but they've still started off this Baron. Glid's still alive. This theoretically is still a 50-50.
Jace isn't there, so they have 2 options available. They can turn. It looks like they want to do that.
More knockups are going to land here, but Faker just couldn't keep himself alive. That's going to mean the reset comes in on the Bloodwell. Cleared, goes golden, but that's just going to buy more time so that he's in the death chamber for what feels like a little bit longer. Khan now trying his hand, but he's just too late, and I think that Afreeca may have taken the bull by the horns finally in this game. The Baron. Oh my god. What? They tried to give SKT the opportunity to steal.
At that point, all that you have to do is surround the Baron to prevent the projectile from being able to potentially steal. We're taking a look at the replay. Mata making a quick donation, trying to get a tax break as Khan, he's landing a lot of poke before he's forced to recall back home. They resume the Baron, and then SK Telecom, they think at this point, and I mean reasonably so, that, well, we have to try to do something. If we just give away the Baron, then things are not going to go good. Keen had other plans in mind, though. He's able to get the World Ender passive to reset, goes into it, but ends up falling. And then shortly thereafter, all right, sure, just cut it.
It was hop out of it. It's 5,000 gold now, the lead for Afreeca. We want to watch Afreeca take a free Mountain Drake. That will be the second for them. And all too easily secured. Fair bit of vision is still available here defensively for SKT, and they're positioning themselves, waiting to try and get Afreeca where they want them. But Afreeca are just going to move over to this inner turret. Gromp is going to get missed there by Khan, and inner falls. Mid lane also pushing forward. You can see it was Keen that was hanging out there, but Faker finds the minions while they're unempowered and is able to take them down pretty quickly. Shuriken backflip will get Faker to safety as well. And this is the problem, right? We're heading towards 30 minutes into this game, and then how does SKT find a fight that they want without having a perfect pick on a stray member of Afreeca Freecs?
Well,
for example, Keen right here.
Wait, they can see all the members of Afreeca, and Klitsch shot the cocoon into the brush like someone might be there.
Yeah, that happens. That's another one of those times where I just don't have the answers for you, man. Like, come on. You're supposed to be. You're the answers guy, okay? I'm the questions guy. And that was a question I didn't want to ask. All right.
This is where the laws of the universe truly break down. Oh man.
Okay, UCal splitting on the bottom side though. The Afreeca Freecs still with a minute left on this Baron buff. Want to break open the base. Khan in trouble. UCal using his flow.
Faker's waiting.
Tank things up. First tower is going to go down. It's going to be the mid lane as Faker, yeah, he was thinking about a flank, but doesn't actually have too much of an opportunity to get his way in there. Senin doesn't spot him. Faker actually moves out as the sweeper heads towards the Akali, but Faker's been waiting a very long time, and if you wait too long, your Nexus just dies, right? Like, Afreeca Freecs looking for their second inhibitor. And where is the way in for SKT? Where is their opportunity? Where is the team fight that they can win? And I don't even think they know where it is.
Be able to win straight up. That's the problem with not just the gold deficit. It's just so hard to run into the Afreeca team because you'll be separated by the Gragas ultimate. Aatrox will get his passive. That's a surety.
Yeah.
And so SK Telecom's team comp now, very similar to in game number 2, it's reduced to Elise Cocoons and Fog of War getting picks in order to salvage the game state, except I don't think it's going to work this time around.
Well, this has been a very weird series so far. Afreeca Freecs very close to securing it. Will be their first match win of summer, and against SKT, against the spring champions, would be so huge for the confidence of this team. And we know that almost all of the members of this squad play around confidence. They are a team that can fall apart if they get themselves into a losing streak. It's just how the team has worked for a very long time. And at this stage, you've got Aiming finishing off his wit's end. He went and completed that, still has an unused stopwatch in his back pocket, as does Keen. They've got a lot of fighting options. Infinity Edge is done for UCal. He's completed his Maw of Malmortius as well. So he'll be sticky even if he goes down to low health. This is Afreeca's game to lose. They've got 2 Mountain Drakes. The Nexus is not going to last very long if anyone gets towards it. They're going for a split push style. Faker spots UCal. They actually had a good position there. If UCal had kept walking forward, he would have been in trouble, but didn't have the vision.
He's playing it very Captain Careful right now.
Well, it's a surprising playstyle because we've seen him make some pretty weird decisions, especially in game number 2, but not this time.
Baron's coming up in just over a minute, so They do have other options available if they want to truly play it super safe.
Cloud Drake.
They could get Cloud Drake.
They could.
Think about it.
Well, Fate's Call is going to be used. Teddy wants to take it into his own hands, but Marta shorts it once again. Not going to have that tool to try and start any sort of engagement, and they do not have many different engage options.
Really,
now
really rough.
Clid goes in, and they get Marta's heroic entrance. If they're going to do that one more time, it was actually Faker that started this one off. Aiming goes down incredibly low, but has the cleanse. Oh, Faker, the stopwatch is going to land 7! Helps him out, and it's Dread that secures the kill. It was so close. It was a disaster. Teddy's limping away from this one. But another kill comes in for Dread. Aiming somehow is still alive, but the SKT base is not so lucky.
And Teddy, I mean, this is this is what it all comes down to, right? Teddy's the last one standing.
He's checking his jersey right now as he's put into the fountain. The Nexus is now exposed. SKT will lose their second match of summer, and Afreeca Freecs finally find their first. UCal is back, ladies and gentlemen. He had a weird game number 2, he had a good game number 1, and game number 3 was largely about